Hey everyone, so you will notice I am in a little different scenery today. I am out here in my chicken coop, and today we are going to be talking about raising chickens. It is February, the weather has not been the best, but we finally got a sunny day, so I am out here just talking to you about raising the chickens. So if you've gone into Tractor Supply or a Rural King, you might notice all the little chicks coming out right now. And that's because it is almost springtime, and that means it is chick season. So I thought this video would be great to put out there just to get everybody prepared for raising chickens. And with the prices of eggs lately, I feel like a lot more people might be looking into diving into the chicken endeavor. Also, you might have seen the memes going around on social media about chickens being the gateway drug into homesteading, and I kind of feel like that was it for me. I started about 5 years ago with 6 chicks, and here we are growing more food in our garden, trying to be more self-sufficient, self-sustainable, and we've expanded to 27 chickens now, probably going to add more. We do meat chickens. We've done a lot of things out here on our homestead in 5 years. So yeah, those memes kind of crack me up because I do feel like sourdough and chickens are the gateway drug into the homesteading community. Okay, so one might ask themselves, why raise chickens? Well, first off, chickens are great at providing fresh eggs. They are natural pest control. They fertilize your garden. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little while. And then they are surprisingly fun and full of personality. I love my chickens. I have my favorites, and but you know, they're just entertaining, and they're like little tiny dinosaurs, and they're just funny to watch. So let me know in the comments if you are raising chickens, why you love your chickens. Okay, so now we are going to talk about some of the myths of chickens. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 5 years, and you know, there's a lot of different myths about chickens that we're just going to talk about to start this video out. So some of the myths are that you need a rooster to get eggs, which is not true. We started out with only 6 hens and added a rooster once we got into it a little bit more and thought about wanting to hatch eggs. Plus, personally, I wanted a rooster just so when I wake up in the morning, I hear a crowing rooster, and that just makes me happy to sit outside, have my cup of coffee, and hear my rooster doing his thing. Another myth about chickens are that they are a lot of work. Initially, they can be, especially when they're chicks, because you've got to make sure that it's the right temperature, that they're underneath the right lights, and that you get them outside once they're ready. But really, chickens aren't that hard to take care of. We used to let ours free range, and it was kind of amazing how once it started to get dark, they just made their way into the coop, and you know, we just had to shut the door, and that was it. But they knew what they were supposed to do just from their biological clock, and that part was pretty easy. As far as caring for them, they are scavengers. They love to just peck around and find things to eat. And, you know, there's costs with food and stuff like that that we'll get into, but they're not really hard to care for. Another myth is that chicken math is real. That's actually not a myth. That is real. I started out with 6, then we went to 12, and then we kept expanding, and we got to, I think, 30 at some point, maybe 33, and then out of my hens, and then we got back down to about 27. But like I said, we're going to add some more this year. Okay, so in order to have healthy, happy chickens, you need a couple things. You need feed, you need water, you need shelter, and then you need a run or some place for them to go and scratch around and just do their natural things. So we're going to talk about feed now. I feed my chickens a layer crumble. You can get this from Rural King, Tractor Supply. I get it from a local feed mill, but it's really important that it is a 16% protein feed. So I'm going to show you our layer crumble. It looks like this. It can come in pelleted form, but I notice my chickens prefer the crumble kind, so that's just what I feed them. But it is really important that you give them a high protein feed, and a lot of the feeds have calcium added into them to help with creating strong, healthy shells. But a feed is very important. They have to have feed outside of the snacks that you're giving them and free ranging. So I'm going to go ahead and show you our feeding system here in our coop. And I have a trash bin in here in the winter just because it's cold and things freeze and I can't get it open. But I have a feed bin here in the winter that I keep the feed in, and then I'm going to move it over here to where the feeder is. So here you can see our feeder, and they're waiting for me to give them a snack. So let's go ahead and give them some food. Okay. So here you can see the setup that I have for food for my chickens. I have an idea of something else that we're going to add this year, but this has worked. We've had this coop for 2 years now, and I just have it hanging from the ceiling. Just fill it up. They come in here, they eat from this little area. Only thing with this one is it does make a little bit of a mess because they do try to scratch in it. So that's why I'm thinking about adding a different feeder this year, but it served its purpose. It was pretty cost inexpensive, and my chickens are healthy and happy, and that's all that matters. So another thing that you can give your chickens are just scraps from your kitchen, and this is a great way to get them some nutritious food. I have lettuce that was going bad, which is a favorite treat of theirs. Whenever our garden is in full swing, we have a lot more veggies for them as well. So you can see that they just love kale scraps. I had some old blueberries and things like that that they love to peck around at. There are some things that are poisonous to chickens. I will link some of those things in the description below. But for the most part, they are pretty good at picking through things that they like and things that they don't like. You can see that they're having a heyday here with this lettuce, blueberries, and peppers. So another way that you can make sure that your chickens are getting fed well is to get them free ranging. So this is something that we used to do, but we had several groups of chickens killed by a dog, and then we had a raccoon problem for a while. So we made the decision to not free range our chickens anymore. They have a run, but just be aware if you choose to free range your chickens, it is healthy for them. They get bugs, grubs, you know, all the different things. But if you free range them, you need to be aware that they are at risk for predators, and that was something that we just didn't want to take anymore because we want our ladies to be happy and healthy and lay us a lot of eggs. So yeah, somebody's ready to go here. Okay, so this video comes with a link in the description below for Grub Terra. They are a company that has black soldier fly larvae, and they have a great mission, and I can't wait to tell you more about them. So Grub Terra is a US owned company, and it is based out of New Jersey. And one of the things that Grub Terra is especially known for is that they are really big on not having waste, and they are using scraps from local companies, local restaurants around them to help feed black soldier fly larvae. So one of their missions is that they are, for every 1 pound of Grub Terra's black fly soldier larva equals 20 pounds of food waste from landfills. So they are striving to be more eco-friendly and also to give the best quality that you can to give your chickens. And you will also see that they have a really high calcium content in their larva here, and it is 75% more than mealworms. So we used to feed our chickens mealworms as snacks, but now we are going to this Grub Terra black soldier fly larva. And calcium is really important in a chicken's diet to help them lay eggs and have strong shells. One thing I love about Grub Terra is they go around to local companies and take their food scraps and they feed that to the black soldier fly larva. So therefore we are helping reduce waste in our world. One great thing about Grub Terra and that I love about them is that they have fast, free shipping and that they are preservative free. So that way I know my chickens are getting the healthiest products that they can, and in the end result we are eating these eggs from these chickens, so therefore we are putting these healthy things into our body. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how much my chickens love this Grub Terra black soldier fly larva. I'm going to put my gloves on because it's a little cold today, it's windy. But they love this larva, and it is, as you can see, it is nice and sturdy, and you might hear them fight over this, but this black fly larva has lots of body to it compared to just the mealworms. So let's go ahead and throw some out here for them. This is one of their favorite snacks. A couple months ago, I was noticing that my chickens weren't laying as much. They're molting, their feathers weren't coming in, and it's normal for them to not lay as much and molt, but it was taking them a little longer to get their feathers in. So I started feeding them this Grub Terra brand larva flies, and I noticed that their coats came in better. They look healthier, and I went from getting like 10 eggs a day up to 17 since I've been feeding them this larva. And you can see that they really enjoy it. So I'm just going to take a video here. On the back of the bag, you can see all the nutritional facts and that a little bit more about this company. But like I said, our chickens have produced more eggs. They look healthier since we've started them on this product. So this is Olive, and we are going to link in the description below a 20% off your order with Grub Terra. And like I said, they have fast free shipping and 20% off. You can't beat that. And it's really important to get those chickens healthy and laying eggs, especially with the way egg prices have been. So another thing that's really important for chickens is that they have fresh, clean water at all times. Eggs are made up of 75% of water, I believe. And in the winter, I keep this heated water here in the coop just because we have really cold temperatures here in Ohio in the winter, and sometimes we can't break ice out of the buckets all the time. So we use this heated water, and you can see that this chicken right here is just taking a little sip out of these little levers here, and it drops the water out. We do have, in the summertime, we put a bucket outside with fresh water. We try to fill that up often. And we also have another one that has kind of a spout on it that when they push it down, the water comes out. So in the summertime when it gets really hot, we have lots of water options for the chickens, but they have to have clean, fresh water in order to be healthy and lay eggs. So one thing my husband and I started working on last year, but life just got busy, was doing a rainwater system, a rainwater like tank outside of our coop, and then we're going to put a downspout that brings it down, and that way they have water from the rain as well. So that way we're just kind of using what we have, using nature to help water our animals. So another important thing, probably one of the most important things about having chickens, is the shelter. There are so many different options of shelters that you can get, but we have had multiple types, and one of the most important things is that it is sturdy and predator safe. So I'm going to take you around here, show you our current chicken coop and our run situation, and tell you the pros and cons of it, and then I'm going to show you our first chicken coop that we had and our second DIY one. Okay, so this is our current chicken coop. It is just a shed that I bought from a local Amish farm here, and it was turned into the coop by me. I did most of this without my husband's help, but I made roosts here. So it's really important for chickens that you have roosts, that way they can get up and sleep at night. I just took an old tree branch, put it up here in the rafters, and they really like that one. And then I've made little steps here that's how they get up into the nesting boxes. Here you can see our nesting box set up. We've got several eggs in there, but that one I just bought from Rural King, and then I think I bought the other ones from Rural King too. And then I just put this top up here because they were sitting up here and pooping in the nesting boxes, so it got quite gross. And then it's winter time, so we do have the food in here right now. We have more roosting bars, you can see. They're sitting there in the sunshine. And then over there is their food. So this is just basic setup, nothing super exciting. I did put these little light switches in here, just so when I come in at night, I can still see a little bit. And they just stick there, and they lasted for 2 years. I haven't had to replace them, so that was kind of nice. Okay, so I use the deep litter method for my coop. I used, you can see it's kind of dark, that is ground coffee that I got from Rural King, and it makes the coop smell better, it keeps the odors down, and then I can repurpose it. So, excuse me ladies, they're over here fighting. Sorry for the noise. But the deep litter method is where you take a small layer of bedding and then you just keep layering it. And then after about 6 months, you can take it all out, clean it all out, and then you have compost for your garden. So coffee grounds are great compost for a garden. Plus the chicken poop is great compost. So we have this great deep litter method going on in here.
So this is the bedding that I buy from Rural King. It is ground coffee and it works so well for our deep litter method bedding.
Okay, in my nesting boxes, I have this bedding here. This isn't my favorite. I usually have like a grass bedding that I can take out and wash, but they got kind of gross. And then we had a period where we had a lot of rain and it got really warm here in Ohio. So their feet were getting quite dirty and coming in here and all over this washable bedding. So I checked them out and washed them, and then they froze. So I didn't get them back in time. So I just bought this as backup, and it works fine, but you can see that they make a mess with it. They scratch it all around, and this one right here is getting broody. She's quite funny. You can see that she's kind of made herself a little nest. She keeps coming in here and getting on all the eggs and sitting on them, and then she gets quite mad at you whenever you go to, see? She gets mad at you, but they will peck at you when you go to grab their eggs. Some of them, not so much, but I do have some that get a little feisty about their eggs. Okay, so if you decide to not free range your chickens and you want to build a run, this was a DIY run, but it is really important that it is safe so no predators get in. So you can see that parts of our run, like around the edges, they've kind of pecked around there, but we have fencing on the other side that goes all the way down so predators can't dig in, because foxes are very sneaky. They like to dig in. Weasels, we have weasels here, raccoons, they're pretty good at getting into things. So the only thing I wish we would have done differently with this coop is probably put a little bit more sturdy. You'll see our other coop, we had a different type of mesh here, but we have this mesh double plied, so it works. And then I put some large rocks. I'm still working on collecting large rocks around our farm. I thought this was really cool when we built this coop, is that we have a tree that grows inside of it. So I just made little perch bars right there, screwed them into the tree, and they do sit on that quite a bit. Another really important thing is if you do a run is to have a top on it. Hawks will come swoop down and take your chickens. So we have a top on our run, and our house isn't far from here, but you can see we have lights hanging in here. They're solar lights, so at night it lights all up and it looks really cute. We threw a Christmas tree in here, and they love just to sit here around the Christmas tree. But inside it gets a little bit muddy. I try to rake it out and clean it out, and then we put hay down and things like that to keep it clean. But I am going to contact a local tree company to see if I can get some mulch to go ahead and put something down in here for them for bedding. Okay, so these haven't had any chickens in them in a while, but this was our first coop that we bought. It was a little kit. It served its purpose, but it was just small. You can see it was pretty small. Just fit a couple chickens, and it just wasn't super sturdy, and I think we paid like $500 for this. This other coop back here, this is one that my husband DIY'd. This is what our second coop was. We put a door here in the back that we can lift up and get the eggs from. This has been kind of like our sick chicken area, I guess. But like I said, we haven't really had any chickens in this in a while. We made this little run. I did hatch out some chickens and had a couple roosters, so they stayed in here. But and we just made a little run out of this one. And this was all DIY, but something like that will work when you're starting out. You don't have to spend a ton of money, and then as you get comfortable with it, you can expand on. But this coop right here was our second coop that we made when we got a little more into chickens, and then back here behind it was the smaller one that we first started with. But to be honest, I would not buy one of those ever again. I don't recommend them. Just DIY one if you can. You don't even have to be super skilled at it. Or look on Facebook Marketplace or something for used coops that people don't want in their yard anymore. Okay, so now we are going to get into my favorite part. This lady's a little feisty here, but we are going to get into my favorite part of raising chickens, and that is all the different colored eggs and the different breeds. So I guess we'll start with this one. Some of my chickens aren't super tame. We don't handle them a whole lot. Occasionally we'll grab them and hold them and stuff like that, but they're not overly friendly. They are our pets, but they are also, excuse me, they are also egg producers for us. So this feisty one is a black sex link. These ones are great egg producers. They lay light brown eggs. Okay, now that we got her a little settled down, she is feisty today. But anyways, these are black sex links. They lay light brown colored eggs, and they lay anywhere from 250 plus eggs a year. And they are normally beginner friendly. They're cold hardy, and they are usually pretty docile, except for this lady today is not feeling it. So we're gonna go ahead and let her go and grab another breed that we have. I just wanted to show you what their eggs look like. They are just brown eggs. So they lay a lot of eggs, though. They're good producers. Okay, so this is a Plymouth Rock. These are probably one of your most common breed chickens. This was one of the first ones that I started with, the sex links, and these guys, I got 3 of each when I first got them. But the Plymouth Rock is a dependable egg layer. They lay 250 plus eggs a year. They also lay brown eggs. They are beginner friendly, they're docile. You can see this lady is a little bit more calm than the last one. And they make normal amount of noise. The black sex links are a little bit louder. These Plymouth Rocks are just a normal chicken noise. So with that being said, if you are raising chickens at home and you're in a neighborhood, maybe watch you know, the chicken noise, because some people might not like how much noise your chickens make. All right, we're not going to disturb this lady again, but this is a white leghorn. I have 2 of these. These are pretty good egg layers. They lay 250 plus eggs a year, white eggs. They are a smaller chicken. They are known to be a little bit more skittish. Mine aren't too bad. They're actually pretty friendly, except for this one who's being broody. But they are very good egg producers, and I'll show you one of her eggs here. They lay these white eggs. So I can't catch the other ones right now, but I'm going to show you some of the other breeds. So, okay, let me look over here. I have olive eggers. Right there is an olive egger. And that one lays green eggs. They are a pretty good producer. They are beginner friendly. They are cold hardy. And they lay all kinds of different eggs. They're an egger family. I have an Easter egger over there. That one's got the beard. That's an Easter egger. That one lays like a bluish colored egg. And they are quiet. They're good for any climate. And they lay about 175 to 200 eggs a year. And that one right there, that is my black copper Moran. That one lays the chocolate eggs. That is a very pretty laying egg chicken. I feel like they're becoming pretty popular. So the black copper Moran lays about 100 to 170 eggs a year, so it's not as big of an egg layer. And they're beginner friendly, they're docile, and they're famous for those chocolate colored eggs. Okay, over here is my blue laced Wyandotte. She is one of my biggest chickens, and she is pretty docile. She's one of my favorites. Don't tell the others. But I have a silver laced Wyandotte and I have a blue laced Wyandotte. They lay about 175 to 200 eggs a year. Where'd she go? Let's go find her. There she is. So they're good egg layers, but not as great as the sex links. And they're quiet and they're kind of distant. They just kind of keep to themselves. They don't really get involved in the action. There she is. The black sex links, they're a little bit more feisty. So they tend to be a little bit more
dominant of the chickens. And then over there you can see my Easter egger right behind her. There is my Easter egger. That lays me my colored eggs. Okay, and then last but not least, there is my rooster Spike, and he is a Swedish flower hen. You can see he has all the different colors on him. He is a great rooster. He is not mean at all. He's got a great temperament. He takes care of his ladies, but he does not ever try to attack us. He's just a good rooster. So the Swedish flower hen is a newer breed. It started showing up in the early 2000s. They evolved from harsher climates, and they lay about 100 to 170 cream-colored eggs a year. He has crossed with some of my sex links, so some of the black chickens you'll see out there are hybrids of a Swedish flower, and that it is crossed with a Wyandotte or a black sex link. This one, I don't remember what she is. She lays little blue eggs. I got her from a friend, and I don't really know exactly what she is. We call her Trudy. They're all kind of mean to her. She's just kind of the low man on the totem pole, but that's kind of how chicken stuff goes. But let's go ahead and get in the coop here, and I will show you all the different eggs. Okay, so if you are like me, you like the colored eggs. So this is one of my Olive Eggers eggs. And then I have one of my Morans. They lay chocolate brown eggs, and sometimes I have darker chocolate brown eggs, but I read that they get lighter as they get older, so the eggs aren't as chocolatey colored. So there's one of those. I showed you this is the Leghorn egg, the white one. And then these ones are probably from the black sex links or the Plymouths. They are just light brown. And I have a green egg here. You can see this one's a real light green. So this is from probably my Easter egger. And then the light blue one, she doesn't lay very consistently. So the one that lays my small light blue eggs, I probably get maybe one a week from her. But I just love when we have an egg stand out by our farm. And I love when I put the eggs out there that all the different colors are kind of combined. And I also like how it kind of looks like an Easter basket with all the different colors. Here we have our little basket of eggs. So far, that's a good amount today. So I want to thank Grub Terra for sponsoring this video and for also providing all of my followers with a 20% off link. And again, that will be linked in the description below. Like I said, I've noticed a huge increase in my egg production since I've been feeding my chickens the Grub Terra black soldier fly larva. And I just love giving my chickens the best quality stuff that I can feed them. So something a lot of people have asked is when their chickens will start to lay eggs. And you're going to look at between 4 to 6 months for some breeds. It depends on the breed, but usually they will start laying at 4 to 6 months. So you do have a little wait period also before you start getting eggs. And you want to make sure that you are patient and waiting, because you will get some tasty eggs. And if you've ever had fresh farm eggs, there is just a huge difference. When you look at the yolks, they are much more orange, and they're just so much tastier than the store-bought eggs.
In this next clip, you're going to hear my hen doing her egg song. This is what they do after they lay an egg, and this is supposedly a signal to the rooster and the rest of the flock that they have laid an egg and that they need an escort back to the group. So 2 years ago, we hatched our own chicks, and here is a video that I had saved of candling the egg, and you can see the little baby chick moving inside the eggshell. If you are brand new to chickens, I would recommend just buying already hatched chicks because it is a process to hatch them out, but it is a very fun process. This is a clip of a chick that had just hatched, but in a few weeks, we will be making a video of hatching out chicks and show you exactly how to do it.
Okay, so something a lot of people want to know is how much is it going to cost to keep chickens. So there are a lot of expenses that come with starting out with chickens. Your coop can depend on what you want to make it. You can buy a starter kit, small coop, which I am going to show you here in this video, but it can run anywhere from $200 to $400. But I'm going to be honest that those coops are not the best unless you're just going to keep, you know, 3 chickens, 4 chickens, something like that, because they need the space to get away from each other or they will start to fight. If you do a DIY coop, which we have also done, it's going to cost you at least $500 probably in supplies. So you are looking a little bit of an expense, and doing DIY, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at ideas from other people, what you like from their coops, what you don't like from their coops. Depends on how many chickens you're going to get, and that will all depend on how much money you spend too, is how many chickens you are going to get. So a shed like the one that I have is about $1,500, and then I kind of customized it to myself, and then we had all the other expenses with the run area also. There are initial startup expenses with providing shelter, and shelter is the most important thing with your chickens, so don't skimp on that. Get them a good shelter. So something else to think about, that it sounds great to raise your own chickens, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but chicken food can be expensive. It runs about $18 a bag, and you know, you're probably not really saving that much whenever you are raising your own chickens and getting your own eggs versus going to the grocery store. But what's got me started on it is that I am raising my own chickens. I know where my eggs are coming from. I know what's going into my chickens. And to me, that's part of this whole journey. So I had one last thing that I wanted to say about the cost of raising chickens. So some of my chickens I bought from Tractor Supply, and I paid about $3.99 a chick. Some of these guys I have hatched myself, and some of them I have gotten from local farmers and friends. But I would suggest, if you're a beginner with chickens, not hatching out your own. It's a fun process, but it's a little bit more time consuming, and then you have to buy all the equipment to hatch them. If that's something you want to do, great, do it, because it is a great experience. But you don't have to do that, and depending upon the breed that you buy or that you're wanting, they can run anywhere from $3-4 a chick, all the way up to, some are up to $100 a chick. There are places online that you can order from. I have never done that, but I've heard some stories of a lot of people getting sick chicks by the time they get them. But it is a great option, and I do plan on trying that in the end. But one thing that I would suggest is looking local too, talking to people and seeing the breeds that you like, the temperaments, and then trying to decide what kind of chickens you want to raise. Okay, so I am here in my kitchen, and we are going to wash some eggs to put out in our farm stand. We have a farm stand that we built a couple of years ago, and I will have that video linked in the description below. It was one of our first videos that we made, so I do need to update that one. But we do wash our eggs when we put it out at the farm stand, because sometimes our eggs get kind of poopy and I don't want to sell those to customers. But we do keep some on the counter for ourselves. Fresh eggs can stay on a counter for 2 weeks. If they are washed, they do need to be kept in the refrigerator. So as I was getting ready to wash eggs, I came across this guy that we got the other day. This is a fairy egg. Fairy eggs can happen for many reasons. It can be a misfire in the reproductive cycle. It can be from a hen that is just starting to lay. It can be from a hen that has not laid for a while and is just picking back up. Or it can be from an older hen who is at the end of their laying cycle. Okay, so by washing eggs, you are removing that bloom that grows on an egg. This is the last
stage of the egg laying process for hens, they have a like sealing coat that goes over the egg, and this protects the egg from getting bacteria inside of it. So this is why when we wash eggs, or if we're buying store-bought eggs, they have to be refrigerated, because we are removing that bloom from the egg. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash these eggs, and then I left one egg out. So I left one egg out, and you will see on here, like you can even see just where my wet hand touched it, the color difference also, because I will be removing that bloom from this from the eggs. So I also use this time to inspect the eggs as I wash them. Again, we do sell these at an egg stand at the end of our driveway, so I want to make sure that I'm not selling my customers eggs that are cracked or have holes in them. I kept this one out because you can see a hen put a dent in it with her nail, probably as she was going into the nesting box. So I'm washing these eggs to make sure that they are clean for my customers. Okay, so these eggs look similar. They are from the same kind of chicken. This one is washed, that one is not. So you can see that bloom layer on top of it. And this one, since I washed it, has to go in the refrigerator because I took away that protective layer that keeps bacteria out of the egg. Okay, here you can see all the beautifully washed eggs and all the different colors that we have. These are from our olive eggers. These bluish colored ones, they might not look blue in the video, but they are like a blue-green. They're a really pretty color. Those are from our Easter eggers. The brown ones are from our Plymouth Rocks and our black sex links. And then we have these nice large white ones from our white leghorns. So yeah, we got a lot of egg variety. And these chocolate ones are from our black copper Morans. Okay, so since we sell eggs to customers in our egg stand, I bought these stickers off Amazon that say washed eggs, please keep refrigerated. So I'm going to put these labels on our egg cartons, and I'm going to put the date that they were collected, and then I'll stick them out in our egg stand later today. And I'm going to say that, especially with the way egg prices are right now, we have our local regular customers who always come, but we have had so many people asking for more eggs and stopping by because we do still sell our eggs for $3 a dozen. So they go pretty quick out at our stand. So that's why I'm going to be hatching out some more chickens this year. Hopefully we get a lot of hens and not roosters, because when we did hatch our other ones, we ended up with like 9 roosters out of the 24 eggs I think that we hatched. So that was a good amount of roosters, and a lot of them found homes to be roosters for their own flocks. So I'm gonna go ahead and package these eggs up and go ahead and get them out in our egg stand. Okay, so that concludes our video about raising chickens. I hope this gave you some great tips and ideas for raising chickens. And if you've already raised chickens and just need a little refresher, I hope this helped you. But all in the end, it is important that we give our chickens a healthy environment. We give them food, water, and of course a little bit of love. So if you like this video, don't forget to please hit the like and subscribe button and continue to watch our content. And I just thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.